Cat giveth, Cat taketh away. The
That's
Jekyll
for sure.
and Hyde Karl Anthony Towns. The good cat or the bad cat? The outdoor cat or the indoor cat? Which one do you want tonight? I want the alley cat, and that's exactly what he was last night.
I think that's exactly how you keep a happy cat. You know, you gotta run him through this offense. You create for him.
Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. The New York Knicks are 5-0 at home, and what will Brown do for you? Maybe get you 138 points in the Garden. That's what. Let's go! Welcome to New York Minute. It's New York sports for New York Nuts. I'm here with Playoff Patty. What's going on, Pat?
What's going on, bud? How we
I'm
doing?
rocking and rolling, and on my third cup of Joe, if you haven't been able to tell yet, New York Knicks win last night in the Garden. Guess what? I thought this was going to be a brawl for it all. A war by the shore, if you will. But the New York Knicks walked into MSG last night, went to 5-0 at home, and took the Timberwolves, and we know the storylines with the Timberwolves. They took them to task last night.
Yeah, Cat's been doing the past few games. He's played great. You know, I think he's stepped up from where he was at the beginning of the season. Those first few games, he came out real slow, real flat. It was not something that I was enjoying watching. Like you and I said, it didn't look like he had any fire under his ass running up and down the floor. He was just kind of taking his time.
Yeah, he looked really he looked disjointed in the system of Mike Brown. And I think that's what the New York Knicks fans, we've been going through, the frustrations of watching this team mold together. And they did a really good job last night. And we're starting to see that. I've noticed that Mike Brown was like, hey, listen, I think if I don't make him happy in the beginning of the game, because Karl Anthony Towns is a little bit of a diva, if I don't make him involved and I don't make him happy early, he just mentally checks out for the rest of the game. And that's when he has those 8-point games. And Pat, the New York Knicks are going nowhere if Karl Anthony Towns is getting 8 points. But guess what? Last night, he comes into the game and he crashes the boards last night. He's not chucking up the threes that we saw, right?
Well, he was shooting threes. I mean, he was doing those pull-up threes. He has a couple threes. The previous game, too, against the Wizards, he had some threes, even against the Bulls. But, you know, he is playing ball. He's kind of coming into this whole system that Mike Brown is putting together, and he's really looks like he's falling in. And I think you're right about keeping him happy. He is definitely a diva. We know all about the zest. And, you know.
The zesty one.
Yeah, big zesty. But the guy can ball. And when he's playing aggressive last night with the bully ball,
baby.
Down,
and you know what?
It's dunking over him.
And it's not like he's not playing against anybody. He's playing against Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, first of all, has won Defensive Player of the Year 4 times in his career. He's tied with Ben Wallace for the tied all time for Defensive Player for 4 in his career. So it's not like he had a pushover. And also, as soon as Rudy Gobert leaves the game for the Minnesota Timberwolves, they are undersized, and that's when Cat goes to work. I like Cat's new move, too. He's got this, holds the ball almost like a rhino, and then just goes right and finishes to the basket. And what I meant by not shooting the threes in the beginning of the game, you're exactly right. I think he might be one of the best, if not the best, 3-point shooter on this team. But this is what I wanted to tell you, and this is what I was thinking watching the game last night. Mike Brown fixed Karl Anthony Towns. What did we talk about in the first 4 games? Karl Anthony Towns looked like Paulie Walnuts running through the pine barrens in New Jersey, right? So what did Mike Brown do? He did the adjustment. If he's going to fall back, I'm not going to call it lazy. If he's a little gassed, he's a big guy and he can't travel down the court, we're going to hit him with the trail 3. If you notice, Brunson came, how many times did he set up the offense last night? You had Cat coming behind you. They're on 4-on-5. Throw it to Cat. 3-pointer. Boom. Now he can trot back on defense, and it saves his energy. I love the move by Mike Brown.
For sure. I think it's going to help Cat having Mitch back in the lineup. I think it's going to help Cat, you know, with OG being able to D up like he does. You know, Cat is one of those players that has a whole range of talents. The guy can play the whole floor. The only thing I really don't want him doing is bringing the ball up. Other than that,
He
the
wants
guy,
to.
yeah,
He'd
yeah,
be the point guard on this team if you let him.
I'm good on that. But I mean, we have a guy who is very talented. I don't know if I wholly agree with you that the Knicks would be nothing without him, but he is certainly an integral piece to their success. And if they're going to run for a chip, this guy's got to be healthy and he's got to be shooting the way he's been shooting the
Well,
last month.
I think, I was thinking about that storyline last night, and that will lead us to our next question. Is the storyline last night that Karl Anthony Towns, he just played the team that let him go, and he dominated them. And they just crushed the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are not a bad team. And in fact, it reminded me of like a 1990s Bulls, Knicks, Pacers, old school Eastern Conference game. It was getting chippy. People were on the floor. People were playing physical. I liked it. And they're friends. DiVincenzo's wearing the Batman mask. So Randall and DiVincenzo come back into the Garden last night. But the last thing I want to say about Karl Anthony Towns, he is the enigma. He is the good cat giveth, cat taketh away. The
That's
Jekyll
sure.
and Hyde Karl Anthony Towns. The good cat or the bad cat? The outdoor cat or the indoor cat? Which one do you want tonight? I want the alley cat. And that's exactly what he was last night. But the one thing I picked up on, Pat, Karl Anthony Towns needs to work on one thing, and it's the biggest thing. He commits fouls like he's Lenny from Of Mice and Men, okay? He is so powerful and so big, he doesn't even know what he's doing. He went last night with his elbows to the rim in the third, and DiVincenzo got thrown out of a cannon. It looked like he joined Ringling Brothers in MSG. He got thrown out of a cannon. They called the offensive foul on Cat. Cat's like, he didn't even know what he did. So he's he wants to pet. He wants to pet the rabbits a lot, though. He gets stupid fouls, is my point, by the third.
Down there, that I know the exact foul you're talking about, and I mean down there, he just grabbed the ball, kind of gave himself some position, and just kind of moved, and
and just like Lenny wanted to pet the rabbits.
Yeah, but some of those are definitely, but some of them are soft fouls, and he does. But you hit the nail right on the head. He really does like to give you the.
Yeah, it's like, what did I do? You crushed the rabbit's skull, Pat.
Yeah.
Whoa, what did I do? It's like he's 7. Well, I think he's got a point guard mentality. But speaking of Randall and Devo coming back into MSG last night, and you know what? This is going to be a storyline for the rest of time, and you know this. Whenever they come to the Garden, it's going to happen. Randall opens up the game with 11 points in 8 minutes.
Yeah, hit those first 2 threes. I mean, he came
out looking good. When I
saw him hit that shit, I was like, oh. Man.
I know. Yeah, it's like watching Michael King pitch for the San Diego Padres. It's the one that got away. But I got to admit, okay, Devo is more like watching Michael King. Now Devo is more like watching King. Randall's more like watching Jordan Montgomery on the Yankees leave the New York Yankees, because I'm okay with it. He was a perfect example last night of what Randall does. Randall comes out the gate hot, man. 8 to 11 points in 9 minutes. You think he's going to have a 51-point performance. And then he's like, see you later, folks. Got to take off for the rest of the game. He's a frustrating player. Devo comes into the game last night, shooting the lights out. DiVincenzo's like the Italian chick you went out with that got away. Like, you left on good terms. You guys are still cool with each other. You'd say hi in the supermarket. Hope everything works out for you and your new man. But I want you back. I still yearn for you in the cucumber section, okay? I yearn for you, Devo. Okay, no slow-mo. That's what it's like watching him play.
He's a great shooter. And he's a pure shooter. The guy comes down, he gets the ball, he pulls up, and he fires. He did miss like 4 or 5 in a row in the second half after he came out. Yeah. And now I don't know if what was throwing off the whole Wolves, mojo there was Ant coming back. and Ant being in the
He
mix
was
because he
hurt.
really
He's
he really
hurt.
didn't have, yeah, he really didn't have a good game.
No, he
And
didn't. He didn't, and you could tell he's coming back from an injury, and that's what was missing last night. I mean, if Ant, that's a really close game, and that's a great matchup. You just took a team like the Timberwolves, who theoretically had the same exact team, who went to the Western Conference Finals last year, and you took them to the mat last night. If Anthony Edwards is in that game, there's a big difference.
it's a much closer game, but I don't know if Randall and Devo are getting as much burn as they are advancing the game because the focus is really on Ant from an offensive perspective over there. I
Absolutely.
mean,
And
they have a great team, and Randall and Devo are both going to be a integral part of that team making it if they make
I
it
know
this
it
year.
just kills me to watch exactly what the New York Knicks need right now. Like to bring them to the net, because I can't stand looking at Shamet and Landry Shamet. I know. Enough with the Landry Shamet,
Dude, come
okay?
on. The guy can shoot. He can shoot. You got Bridges that's
Told you
coming
the
in and
same
shooting.
thing about Kolek.
Clark's Kolek can shoot. He's just not shooting. I don't know what the hell
He's
happened
just
to that guy.
he looks like a cat in a Chinese restaurant. He's nervous as shit.
You're right. And
He's
I
playing
think,
scared.
I read something about him going down to the G League or something like that. And if that's
He
what
is.
they're going to do with him to get him over there and get some reps under his belt and get him to feel a little bit more comfortable. I mean, he's playing with star power. He's playing in the Garden. He's being expected to produce in a new offense. I mean, the guy's got to learn some stuff. And I do have faith that he can be a solid, 7, 8, 9 guy for us.
And real quick, I learned something yesterday. Just because a guy goes to the G League in the NBA doesn't mean that he's off the roster. I
Yes,
even said
correct.
this to Mike from Pudgy Boy Sports yesterday. In Major League Baseball, they show up with a black van, throw you in a body bag, and bring you to Scranton Wilkes-Barre. All right? Here, they're like, you can stay on the team and you can get more reps in the G League. So I think that's a great move. That's exactly what they need to do. The Knicks Developmental League has gotten so much better. I mean, that used to be the joke. The only thing the Knicks win is the G League in the first game of the season. But now that we have Mike Brown, dude, I got to admit real quick before I forget, the last 4 games, 125, 128, 119, 135, those are all the points scored. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Pat, you've mentioned to me at nauseum about the extra pass. Please, just tell us about the extra pass, because it seems like that's what the Knicks have brought to the table this year.
Well, so that is part of Mike Brown's scheme here. If you're looking at what he's doing, the guy likes to spread the floor. He likes to move the ball around. He wants to get people to come in movement off the ball. How many times did I say that to you in the past 2 weeks? The Knicks need to move off the ball. Move off the ball. They set screens off the ball. They get people open. They spread the floor out. When you get all jumbled up and you're trying to hand it off, you saw it a couple times last night, right out of bounds. Shit pass. I mean, the Knicks need to spread the floor. They have the talent to spread the floor. They have the people who are you have individual scorers, even people like Clarkson. I mean, you look at these guys that are coming in. These guys can create. These guys can score, but they need the room to score. They need to be able to. They need to be able to move around. And Mike Brown's offense brings that. That is what it is, and they need to learn it, and they need to become comfortable in it. And it looks like over the past week, they're starting to kind of fall into that flow. I'm excited to see what happens as they move forward with it, because it really is
Going to get better. Listen, man, you played sports. I played sports at a high level. And what happens is when you're learning something new and you're learning new plays, and especially Pat played basketball, so he knows, but even I can draw parallels to lacrosse. When you're drawing up new plays or learning a new system of offense or defense, you're thinking, you're not playing. You're not reacting, you're premeditating. You're thinking about what you're going to do next rather than just doing it. It's like learning anything. It's like being familiar at a job with a cash register. At first, you're like, where's the button? Where's the button? 3 months later, you're like, blah, 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 blah. You're ringing people up. The question I wanted to ask you, and this is the question of the night. Who's a more frustrating Knick to watch in your lifetime, Cat or Randall?
Ooh, that is something I have not considered. I
want you to chew on that. I want you to chew on it. But I would say the more frustrating Knick to watch would be Karl Anthony Towns, because I believe that Karl Anthony Towns has more talent than Randall. I believe that Karl Anthony Towns' ceiling is higher than Randall's. The one thing that's always been about Randall was a question about motivation, okay? A question about a winning player. This city really never accepted Julius Randle. Now, the New York Knicks accepted a guy like Amari Stoudemire. They hands wide open. And I mean, they overpaid for him. It was a bad deal for us, and we loved him. Look at Kolek. They love him more than Randall was ever loved, and the guy's going to the G League. So I think that Karl Anthony Towns, though, is the more frustrating player because when you know a guy's got all that talent in the world, Randall's not a 7-footer. Randall's not a center and can play point guard at the same time and hit, so it's a different kind of thing. I think Karl Anthony Towns is the most frustrating because it's all up here. For a guy that everyone was saying was soft as puppy shit and all this stuff, he's been a dog for us, okay? And you know what? Put all the zesty stuff aside and put all that stuff aside. Karl Anthony Towns has not complained zero on this fucking team. Every time a microphone's been pushed in his face, all he's done is give props to the Dominican population of New York, say, I got to be better. I got to be the bodega cat. I got to do this. He always puts it on himself. Now, listen, if shit goes wrong, he's going to be villain number one, and he will burn the locker room down. I'm letting you know that right now. But a happy cat, you don't get the claws.
Yeah.
Keep that kitty happy, right? Happy cat, happy life. Point.
But that's what we're talking about, to bring it back to Mike Brown and the defense. I mean, I think in the offense, and that's what those extra passes, that's what not coming up. A couple times last night, I got really frustrated. There were a couple stretches where they were coming up. They come up, they hit a three. Somebody hits a three, and then the next time down the floor, they think it's got to be one pass. I'm shooting another three. Nah, you got that three by moving the ball around, catching the ball going. You don't need to come down and rush the shots. If they were holding the ball, especially when you're up by 8, 10 points, the hell are you rushing shots for? Come down, make the extra pass, get the good shot.
I think that is your white whale. That is your white whale. Like, that is the one thing that bugs Pat the most, is coming down the floor, chucking up a three, missing it, and then going right back to the other. I agree with you. It's like sacrifice flies in baseball. I scream at the TV like a baby boomer, going, "You can't move a runner over!" It's like, yeah. I completely agree with you. It's a fair point because it makes actually guys like Karl Anthony Towns makes him tired. But I have to do some apologies on this show today, Pat. Because you know what? The one thing about New York Minute,
this is a first.
Okay, the New York Minute. I have to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm wrong, folks. Okay. Now,
I can't wait to hear this.
The thing I'm wrong about is Josh Hart. I'm dead wrong about you, bro. I was throwing shade your way, literally making segments on how long you were going to be on the New York Knicks this season, and that you couldn't pass, you couldn't shoot. Josh Hart in the last 2 games has really found his rhythm. Last night, he had 18 points. He was 4 from 5 from three-point land. The guy's got 5 offensive rebounds, 4 assists. The guy was all over the place, and he was a plus 12 last night. Now, I'm going to also do this because I own a microphone. I'm going to have revisionist history right here. I did tell you that Hart would be amazing if he could be the 6th or 7th man on this team. I've said it before, and that's exactly what Hart's done. He's become a role player. He's become our Draymond Green, it looks like. And, dude, Hart, I'm sorry, man. I underestimated you. I called you out too early, and for that, New York Minute, we apologize. I'll send some flowers. Just give me your address. And we're not going to send you anything. But sorry.
So, I think that you are spot on with your assessment as to where he should be in this rotation. He should be a 6-7 guy. He brings a spark immediately when he comes in the game. The guy hustles his ass off. Him, OG, diving on the floor, running around, creating turnovers. And hitting threes. I
Yeah,
mean, now he's hitting threes. The first couple of games, me and you were on his ass because he couldn't hit a three.
yeah,
But I mean, you
yeah.
know what it's
He's
what
got the lower back
what's
issue too, which can help with your explosiveness, with your jump. It's all intercombined. If you don't have your legs under you, bro, you can't get that snap on the three. You can't get that high extension on it.
so what's really frustrating about the Knicks a
So
lot that
frustrating. So
this is
frustrating.
this has got me crazy. No, but it's you're looking at like open shots, they're missing. When they're kicking the ball, the open shots, they're missing. When they're moving off the ball, running,
Yeah.
passing, stepping into a shot, they're hitting their shots. When they get set up, there were very few times. OG did it last night once or
Bridges is the
twice.
only guy that I can think of from an outside. He only hits solo threes. If
Um,
he is totally by himself, Bridges is going to hit that three. But if it's contested in the least bit, he's going to miss.
but have you seen what I'm talking about? How
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
they're getting
Yeah.
these open shots and they're Brunson. Everybody's
OG needs somebody in his face to come up to him, and
this,
when he's shooting a 3-pointer, he's like, "Hey." He's like, he waits for people to come to him so they can put a hand up. And I think, like, also OG, you know, I'm a OG fanboy. Okay, it's Bridges and
straight
OG
up,
are my two sons.
straight up.
And Kelly Clarkson, as I like to call him, is my adopted son of the year because he's killer, Mr. Clarkson off the bench. All right, but I'm telling you, bro, I love this guy. He's the most athletic dude every time he steps on the court. The shit he does off the ball that you don't even think or think to look at during the game. Watch this. Next time you watch the Knicks play, do not watch the basketball. Watch OG play basketball. It's unbelievable. That's why people think I'm fucking nuts when I say he has the ability to be like a LeBron James type of guy, a Luol Deng plus from the Chicago Bulls. That's the kind of floor and ceiling that this guy has. And it seems like he's really starting to mature into his role. Because I could see him being a Scottie Pippen, bro.
He's gonna flourish on the Mike under the Mike Brown system, dude. He is gonna. It
He
is gonna
has
fit.
already him, Bridges, Brunson.
He's
That's the
it's
three guys that are killing it so far.
it's only gonna get better.
Yeah.
And these guys under Mike Brown is a phenomenal coach. All right, and we all, everybody had, you know, there were mixed emotions about Thibs and all that stuff last year. But Mike Brown coming in, he is a top tier coach,
Yes.
championship
Absolutely.
caliber coach, and he has proven that his systems work. And we've said this a number of times over the past couple of weeks. They have the talent base, they have everything they need to
Yeah.
flourish under this system.
He was on the lake. Listen, he coached LeBron in Cleveland. He was on that LA coaching staff, I think with Kobe and Shaq back in the day. The man has forgotten more basketball than we know. The
Sure.
problem with Tibbs was he was stuck in 2000. The Hakeem Noah Bulls, he hadn't changed since then. And everyone's talking about Tibbs. Oh, he's talking to the ops. Oh, he's talking to this guy. No, he's trying to adapt or die. Okay?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just
I mean,
lost a job because he's a dinosaur and he needs to change with the times. Also, it's where the rubber meets the road, man. You know, you've been doing a workout your whole life and you're like, this workout works. It's like, well, why don't you try this a little bit? It's like, oh shit, I'm getting different results. This is pretty good. Good tweak. You know, Tibbs was running his six guys into the fucking ground every night. He was a defensive coach. The Knicks stopped playing defense and now he was just a coach. Also, I love to always make the comparison, but it's right on the money, I think. Buck Showalter and Tom Thibodeau are the same goddamn guy. Same situation. He brought the Yankees, Buck Showalter, right to 95, where they lost to the Mariners. Still kills me inside. Griffey scored from first at home at the play at home, and the Yankees fired Buck Showalter, got Joe Torre in 96, and won a chip. Mike Brown can take these guys to the next level. It's awesome. Like I was saying before, we fall in love with these mediocre dudes. You know what? We didn't have a good team for so long that we were so desperate and so thirsty for something good and consistent that we loved Thibodeau. We loved guys like Hart, which is changing. That storyline's changing. But he had to go. And now you're seeing what Brown can do for you, which is score you 128 points and bring you into the 2020s NBA. It's amazing. Look at the fucking team we got. I'm getting jacked up talking
I'm
about it right now. Let's
you're
go.
you're right. You're right. And the real test, the East is good, man, and there's a lot of good teams in the East. Or
Yeah,
despite what's been going on, Orlando, the
76ers.
Cavs are back to the Cavs are
It's
coming back to
going.
full strength. I mean, this is stuff that's going to play out over the course of the season. And once you get out west and you start playing the teams out west, it's going to be some telltale stuff, man. I'm excited though. You're right. I mean, this is the most exciting Knicks team we've had in a very long
This
time.
season.
So
Yo,
it's
listen, I'm telling you right now, the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks are on a
Sixers too. Yeah,
collision
no, you're right.
on a collision course this year. On November 6th at 2:00 in the afternoon, mark my words, when you play this in March, the Knicks and the Sixers are on a collision course this year. They didn't make the playoffs last year, and you saw 2 years ago the energy and the craziness that will be in that building. I want a Joe Embiid, Big Cat, mother showdown, okay? I want Paul George to be healthy for once in his life, and I want all that smoke from the 76ers. But you got to get there first, and one of the guys that's going to help the New York Knicks get to that point is another dude if he stays healthy, which is Mitchell Robinson. I literally have in my notes, I love Mitchell Robinson. That's the only note I took last night. Is
Dude, how could you not love him after what he was doing last night?
just
Dude, I mean, coming off the rebounds, coming off, following up, banging it down, coming in, hustling off the ball, getting rebounds, playing defense. What do you have, like 3 or 4 blocks last night?
yes.
I mean, dude, this is what we need. And he can't be, he is much better.
He's a defensive player of the year caliber kind of guy. He is,
but he's also much better getting
I know.
breaks,
Offensively too.
not playing a full game.
Well, that's going to help him throughout the year. Listen, man, I look at a guy like Rudy Gobert right next to Mitch, and there's nothing that Mitchell Robinson can't be in Rudy Gobert. And in fact, I think Mitchell Robinson, maybe if he eats a few sandwiches, puts a little weight on, he could be that guy. But you're exactly right, Pat. And this is what is the New York Knicks' biggest advantage. I don't think it's OG. I don't think it's Brown. I don't think it's Brunson. What it is time, my friend. It's time. Less playing, less injuries, better pizza, Papa John's, okay?
Yeah,
when you
absolutely.
alleviate time played, you make everybody get the ball, you let everybody eat, nobody's hungry, no one's thirsty on the team. Listen, man, this is a buffet. Everybody gets fed, everyone's going to get paid, everyone's going to get the rock. We're all going to play at this team. Now, fucking Hart doesn't need to score 18 points a night. And we're like it was 2 years ago where we needed 16 from Hart or we were going to lose. And he's not that kind of guy. He's a 6th or 7th man at best. Leon Rose, we trust. And I am just, well, also, did Brunson get better in the offseason?
I think I don't know that he got better. I think he's always been this good. He's just not been playing under the right conditions. This is the guy we need, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big on Mike Brown right now, and I'm big on the offense that he's running, and I'm big on these guys falling into it and looking at it. Like I said,
and
before,
you know what
spread
he's
the
doing?
court and driving dish, set pick
and
and
now
roll.
He's not going to look like Johnny Five from Short Circuit trying to reassemble himself in fucking Radio Shack. He's also, like, I noticed Mike Brown. He's our Mariano Rivera. He can be a starter from the bullpen, or he can be a closer from the bullpen. The thing is, they bring him in the first 3 minutes. They rest him. Bring him in for another 3 minutes. Rest him. Bring him in the last 3 minutes of every quarter. That's exactly what he's been doing. You already got 12 minutes played there. Let him open up the first 3 minutes of it. That's 24 minutes right there. Then you sprinkle him anywhere in between. That's 36 minutes a game. Alleviate the 41 minutes. Hello!
That's exactly what I was just saying about Mitch too.
Yeah.
Give Mitch the time so he's not out there. He's a big man, bro. Let the guy. It's tough on him running up. Give him the break. Give him a breather. You got guys who can eat those minutes up, and do it
Yeah.
without putting you in a hole.
I
Why
gotta
not
admit,
use it?
you know what? And I always go back to it. Listen, man, baseball season's never over. It just lays dormant for us. But also 96 days till pitchers and catchers. But the basketball team is like one big bullpen.
Mhm.
It's literally because if you think about it, you have 24 to 25 guys on a roster in Major League Baseball. You have 50 guys on a football team. You only got 12 on a basketball team on the bench. So literally, you have one large bullpen that you're
Yeah.
trying not to gas out through the whole season. That's like hockey with the lines, keeping them fresh. As a coach, that's why I think an NBA head coach is one of the biggest, most crucial things you can have on a team. Keeping those personalities cool in the locker room, coming up with schemes, and they have more of an impact on a team than a baseball manager does, than I would say even a hockey coach does. They have a huge impact on the team, and that's what Mike Brown's done to the New York Knicks.
And you got to think about the fact that Mike Brown's been in the league for so long. He knows a lot of these teams. He knows a lot of these coaches. He knows what they're coming out with. He knows how to play against all the different things that this team is going to see. And he knows now he's got such a wide array of a skill set and so many guys that can score, so many guys that can bring the ball, so many guys that can facilitate. All of that stuff is playing right into this scheme that he's running. And if they continue, they had a little bit of a rough time on the road here, and I don't know if that's just beginning of the season jitters. When they come home, these guys look like a whole different team. Like you said at the
I'll tell
beginning,
you,
and I
dude,
think
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's Yeah, okay, so this is gonna be an interesting little swoon right here. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's take a look ahead real quick, Pat. So their next opponent's gonna be Brooklyn, which actually I've
Mhm.
never been to the Barclays. We might have to fucking go over there to Flatbush. So
is that
Brooklyn,
Sunday? That's Sunday, right?
yeah, I don't know about going into Flatbush on a Sunday. I think I'd rather have water torture
It's
performed on
actually
myself.
it's actually really easy to get there. We could do that.
Yeah,
But I
you
mean,
know
it's
me, mass trans. Anyway, Brooklyn, Memphis, and Orlando in the next 3 games. So now, my point I was going to make was, so when the Knicks hit a rough spot in that Miami, Milwaukee, Chicago when they lost 3 in a row, they played a lot of games in succession. So I want to see how the New York Knicks rebounds, because right now, look at this. They have a game tonight. They had a game last night. They don't play again until Sunday. So you have a long rest. Let's see what they look like after a long rest. And then they were Sunday till Tuesday, and then they have back-to-back games Tuesday and Wednesday. So Memphis and Orlando, back-to-back games. They're on their 7-game home streak. That's 2 down and 5 to go. They're 2-0. They're 5-0 overall. And Pat, we're going to end it on this, buddy. If you could run the offense through one New York Knick on this team, Cat or Brunson, who would it be?
Brunson.
And I would pick Cat. And we'll discuss that next time we get together right here. New York Minute Sports. New York Sports for New York Nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be having Yankees Hot Stove Part 2 this week. Mike from Pudgy Boy Sports coming in Monday. Remember, that's Pudgy Boy Sports with a Z on Instagram, and anywhere in that smoke wagon you call the information superhighway that Al Gore invented. And remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Bye.